trustees, parents, restless brothers and sisters, assorted relatives who are wondering right now why we built this university way out here, and most especially students about to be graduates, class of 2013. Congratulations. I'm so thrilled to be here. Congratulations to the parents or whoever's paying for this. No more tuition payments. Yay! And a great day for the university. We hope you will all be immensely successful and donate all your money to scholarly research, right? And of course, we can't forget it's Mother's Day. I am a mom, I am a grandma. Actually, my little granddaughter was her first birthday today. I think probably of all my accomplishments, raising 3 children was my greatest, and it took the longest. And for those of you who might be new parents, maybe even among the graduates, don't worry, the first 20 years are the toughest. So I tried to think of what I was going to say today. To be honest, I was stressing out about it a little bit. And I did a survey of all the people I know, and I asked them what they remember from their graduation speakers, and they pretty much all said they couldn't remember anything. And they didn't have any idea who talked. What a relief. So, I was just thinking, I bet all of you know what you plan to do when you walk out of here, right? Because everybody tells you you've got to have a plan, right? Follow your dreams. So, assuming you all have a plan, if you do, heaven help you. Because it's probably not going to work out the way you think it is. I should know. I'm glad Dr. Holsinger brought up that parable that David Foster Wallace told at the Kenyon graduation, because I'm going to tell you a story. It might be a parable in a way. I'll let you judge. I'm going to say that originally I did have a plan. I think I had a plan, or somebody had a plan for me at least. I grew up in the 1960s in San Francisco, California. So I'll let you use your imaginations a little bit here. Yes, I had long hair. I had hippie clothes that are still hanging in the back of my closet, all of which used to be pretty far out then. Today you can buy it all in Macy's. I protested the war, the Vietnam War, that is. And I went to a lot of rock concerts, which was the good part. But there was a lot of other things going on at that time. It was a different time in some ways, but the challenges of my time seemed as startling to me then as those of yours may to you today. Deep divisions between generations had developed. A cynical war from which my own brother returned forever damaged. Recession, oil depletion. AIDS was a term we didn't know yet. Homosexuality was not discussed. In fact, most things were not discussed. Women were rarely asked to make a speech like this one, because women had rarely reached any position of prominence, much less run for office. But there was liberation in the air. I was a pianist. I studied piano from the age of 6. I had a lot of other interests as well, and I was a pretty good student. So my parents just assumed I'd go to college. Of course, they did tell me, have a plan, follow your heart, follow your dreams, do everything you can, and make sure that you want to do it for the rest of your life every single day. But what if you don't know what you want to do? What if you don't know what you love? Well, how many of you didn't know what you wanted to major in 2 years ago? Right? Well, that was me. So, at the time, traveling the world seemed a lot more interesting than going to college, but I did a brief stint in college, mostly to please my parents. I took off for Europe with about $100 in my pocket, admission to the Conservatory of Music in Geneva, Switzerland, and a one-way ticket. I was 17 years old. So the 60s rolled by, and then the 70s rolled by, and a lot of things happened. And as John Lennon once said, life is what happens when you're planning for other things. So life happened. Marriage, children, several careers, and I kept trying to make it back to college. Eventually, it led me here to, I guess what we're calling UConn now, right? UConn, yeah. I was trying to remember the first time I set foot on this campus was in the late 80s, and it's all too easy to forget, looking around today, what this campus looked like just a few short years ago. It wasn't exactly inspiring. Some of the buildings were quite literally falling down. I took classes in Monteith and Arjona, need I say more? But that was just the outside. Inside, a world was waiting for me. I had waited 20 years to finish college. I still didn't know what I wanted to do, really, so I took courses in everything. I took a course on South Africa, just South Africa. I took a course on child psychology, and I learned about phonemic awareness from a professor named Dr. Liberman. I took Connecticut history, where the professor asked us, in defiance of all current pedagogical theory, to memorize the name of every town in Connecticut and fly over the state in a prop plane. I'll never forget that, because there's no way I'm ever going up in one of those again. But I saw the geographic history of Connecticut, the hanging hills of Meriden, the red, rich soil of the Connecticut River Valley, and Horse Barn Hill, the drumlin scraped by glaciers millions of years ago. I had no idea that anything I learned would be more than academic, and I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So I guess you might say it's kind of an academic failure, which makes it particularly funny that I'm here now telling you how great the past 4 years must have been for you. But I finally graduated. Sometime soon after, I was asked to run for office right here in Storrs, Connecticut, because this is where I live. So I said yes. I ran for office for the Board of Education. I actually lost my first election. And I'm frequently asked about how I got into politics. Well, the answer's easy. Someone asked me. I wouldn't really have thought of it on my own. But it didn't stop me, and I went on to run in a statewide election, and I won. It was nothing I planned for, nothing I ever would have believed I'd do. But something spoke to me, and I finally found what I loved, and I can honestly say that I do what I love every single day. I could never have guessed how my UConn education would inform my path. As a state representative, I developed an early reading program with the help of my old friend, Professor Liberman, who passed on several years ago. As Secretary of State, I've now visited every one of those blasted 169 towns.